How's it going, everyone? Darren Ruan here and welcome to CodeGaff. This week's devlog is going to have a somewhat different format from the usual one, in that I won't be covering my progress for each day of this past week. But before I get into any of that, if you're interested in following me along on my epic game dev journey, then make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that little belly button to get notifications of my latest upload. Alright, so I'm gonna be blunt with you guys. I actually didn't manage to make any progress on my game this week. Like, at all. Now don't get me wrong, I definitely did put the effort and time in, it just didn't result in anything of substance. I spent quite a lot of time learning about AI in games and how behaviour trees can be leveraged to achieve my desired results. The thing is, I struggled to find material on behaviour trees that actually showed them being used correctly. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail on that, and I'm also not going to pretend to be an expert in this field either, because I'm not. But what I will say, and with a great deal of confidence, is that behaviour trees should not be responsible for state transitions or heavy decision making. This is a conclusion that I came to after many hours of research. They are called behaviour trees for a reason, because they describe how behaviours get carried out. Let's say you have an enemy, for example, and that enemy patrols the map when it has no target and attacks when it does. There are very clearly two states here, the patrolling state and the attacking state. Now behaviour trees are excellent at defining what it actually means to patrol and to attack. Like for patrolling, you might use a behaviour tree to wait for a couple of seconds, then pick the next waypoint randomly, walk to it, and then repeat the whole process again on a loop. For attacking, you might use a behaviour tree to check the distance from the target, then engage in ranged combat if within a certain range, or engage in melee combat otherwise. Now this is clearly a simplification of the process, but you can see that the trees in this case are simply defining the specific behaviours of these actions. What they don't do, and what I'm saying they shouldn't do, is define how to transition between these actions. Sadly, a lot of the material I found online does exactly this, and look, don't get me wrong, you totally can, it's gonna be a major pain in the ass to maintain as your game grows and increases in complexity. You're going to end up with nodes in your tree that are aware of the behaviour and conditions of other nodes in the tree. This is going to break the modularity of the behaviour tree, which is supposed to be one of the key benefits of using them in the first place. You'll also end up with hacky things like interruption nodes, which are usually used for managing state transitions, something that they shouldn't be doing anyways. I found an excellent GDC conference video from 2017 that covers some really interesting points and talks about how you can use a sort of hybrid between behaviour trees and finite state machines to create a well-rounded AI. I'll be sure to link to that in the description for anyone who's interested. With this hybrid approach, I realised that rolling with my own implementation was not going to cut it due to how much work and as a result of that time I would need to put into creating a robust solution. So I decided to do some investigation and I came across a plugin called Node Canvas. So far it seems to be exactly what I'm looking for, because it provides not only behaviour trees and finite state machines, but also the ability to nest each of them within one another, allowing you to create really intricate AI and also keep your decision making and behaviour definitions in the sensible places. As far as I could tell, a behaviour designer does not provide such a mechanism out of the box, so I decided to go with Node Canvas, at least for now. Aside from the fact that I've had to invest my limited time into learning the ins and outs of this plugin, there has only been one major challenge: getting it to integrate with the scriptable object architecture that I use in my game. If you're not sure what I mean by that, then I've linked another excellent talk in the description from Unite Austin 2017 that will just absolutely blow your mind wide open. Trust me, if you don't know about scriptable objects and how they can be leveraged, check that video out. So yeah, that was pretty much what I've been up to for the whole week. I was actually very close to not making this video at all due to not having any content to show you guys, but after thinking about it, I realized that that's exactly why I should make this video. The thing is, when you're creating online content, you tend to want to show people the very best of yourself and of what you have to offer. And there's nothing wrong with that, it just doesn't reflect reality. It doesn't show that things don't always turn out the way you want them to. It doesn't show that there are stumbling blocks along the road that are going to make you want to quit, and it certainly doesn't show that failures are inevitable along the way, and let me tell you, they are inevitable. What's important is what you do with those failures. Do you just give up and decide that you're not cut out for it, or do you push on and learn from them, improving after each fall? I guess I decided to go through with making this video to say that, look, I had a bad week and I let it get me down, but it's okay. I'm only human just like you, except Mark Zuckerberg because he's a lizard, and I hit a stumbling block on the road that just made me want to quit. But I'm not gonna quit, because I want to be the very best like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is... oh wait, that's Pokemon. Nah, in all seriousness, this is a devlog. I'm supposed to be documenting my progress week by week. If I made no progress on one week, then I should at least document that fact. It would be an even bigger failure for me to run from it, so instead I'll own up to it and embrace it as part of the journey. Before I close off this video, it was suggested to me a couple times now that I make a community Discord server, so I finally did. There's an invitation link in the description and you are all more than welcome to join if you want. It's still a bit of a work in progress, but I think I have a decent setup here already. I'm pretty new to this whole Discord experience, I gotta be honest, so I created this channel feedback channel where you guys can give me feedback or even just suggestions. So if you have anything in mind that you think could help to improve anything that I do, really, like whether it be my Discord server, my YouTube channel, my website or whatever, just let me know in there. So yeah, I think that's about it for this week. Now that I have a clearer understanding of how I want to approach my AI implementation, I will likely spend most of my time on that next week. As a means of learning from this week's failure, I will make it a point to move on to something different if I end up being too challenged or stressed out. My fallback will probably be to create some better artwork for the level that the Skelly and Hedgehog are in. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will catch you next week. Oh, and if you're not already a subscriber to this channel, then you should definitely subscribe now and hit that little belly button so that you can stay notified of my latest uploads. Cheers!